Bass amp sims often get overlooked, but not today. Today, we're checking out 9 of the best free bass amp sims that you can grab right now. And there's even sims of bass amp sims in here, and you'll see what I mean in just a bit. But right now, let's start with one of my favorites. This is Bass Deluxe from Lost in 70s. This is a tube bass amp with 2 identical channels, and you can easily switch between the two. Plus you also have a pedal board with some of your typical bass effects, and there's a cabinet simulation section with a few options that you can choose between, and you can also turn that off if you want. Next up, we have a free sim of a bass amp simulator. This is Tonelib Bass Drive. So what do I mean? Well, this is based on the hardware bass driver from Sansamp, which can simulate amp sounds. Bass Drive can help your bass guitar to sound less boring, and you have a nice clean user interface to work with. Plus you even get this graph to show you the input and output levels. Use it on dull DI bass guitars or dull bass synths to add some character. Next up, we have a newer one from IK Multimedia. This is Tonex. And in this free version, it includes 20 tone models, plus you can also download 20 user models. Now, out of the included tone models, you get 2 bass rigs. One is an Ampeg SVT, and the other one is a Sansamp. And these two sound great, but I also mentioned that you can download 20 user models, so users of Tonex SE and higher editions can create models of their own rigs, and then they can upload them, and you can download those from the ToneNet library right within the plugin. Another free one from IK Multimedia, this is Amplitube Custom Shop. And in this free version, you get 6 amp models, but all of them except for one are guitar amps. That one bass amp that they include is called the Solid State Bass Preamp, and it's paired with a 15-inch speaker cabinet. There's also some stomp boxes and rack effects that you might find useful in there. Now, if you play both guitar and bass, this has everything you need. This next one is for the bassist that wants some heavy bass sounds. This is Ignite Amps SHB-1. And this one is based on a custom hardware amp that was made for the bassist of the band Subhuman. You have your typical tone stack controls, plus a master input and output control, and then you can enable up to 8 times oversampling. It doesn't have a cabinet sim built into it, but you can use any other IR loader plugin after it, or you can grab their free Nadir plugin and use that one. Now here's another DI sim. This one is TSE Baud V3. And again, this one is based on the Sansamp bass driver, and it's very easy to dial in your own sound. In addition to your standard controls, you also have some oversampling settings that you can configure, and you can also use this one in stereo or mono mode. The next free bass amp sim is Bass Grinder from Audio Assault. This is a fairly straightforward plugin that can deliver big bass sounds. You get 2 amps and 3 cabinets that you can switch between. You can turn the cabinet sim on or off if you have your own IR loader. There's also high pass and low pass filters, plus a noise gate built in as well. Next up is Classic Bass F from Exa Consulting. This is a Fender amp that's being tuned for bass guitar, and when you first open it up, it looks pretty straightforward, but there's so much depth to this plugin. There's different tabs along the bottom that you can switch between and adjust. You have a 5-band EQ, a bunch of effects, a cabinet section with 9 cabs that you can switch between. Plus, there's so much more. If you really want to dial in a custom bass sound, this plugin has tons of settings to help you get the sounds that you want. This next one is Bass Professor Mark II from Sonic Anomaly. This one isn't necessarily a bass amp sim. They call it a bass enhancement plugin that's designed for bass guitar, but they say that you can change the sound of boring DI'd bass into the sound and character of an amped up bass. Now, for over 60 more free VST plugins, click the video on the screen. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane. Keep creating. Fist bump. Thumbs up.